Leaving home at 6:15, I make my way to the Tsawwassen Ferry Terminal, where I meet up with Richard, my riding partner, for a 7:30 departure to Duke Point in Nanaimo for a 2-hour crossing. Arriving in Nanaimo, we bike over to a gas station outside of Parksville to meet up with Alden, who's joining us for the 3-day ride. We make a brief stop at Courtenay to pick up some Subway sandwiches and lunch at Elk Falls before heading over to Gold River. Along the way, we spot a doe and 2 fawns wading across Upper Campbell Lake, and then it's on to Gold River and the 180-kilometer return trip of scenic, circuitous roads. Before arriving at the Port Augusta Inn, where we'll bed down for the evening, we detour to Nim Falls Nature Park for a short hike to take in the natural beauty of Hunlage River, along with a salmon ladder to assist them reaching the upper lake. Comox Valley residents use hydroelectric power generated by BC Hydro from the river and dam at Comox Lake. A siren indicates the river is about to become faster and higher. Apparently, when you hear the siren, you have to evacuate the river immediately and seek higher ground. We leave Port Augusta Inn early the next morning and make our way to Ucluelet. We've been advised that Highway 4 will be closed for 4 hours between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. at Kennedy Hill, some 14 kilometers northeast of the Tofino-Ucluelet Highway 4 junction. We arrive early enough to make our way through the single-lane alternating traffic. Upon arriving in Ucluelet, we ride to Amphitrite Point Lighthouse. Access to the lighthouse is closed, but the view of open ocean all the way to Asia is impressive. We make a brief lunch stop at Chesterman Beach to view surfers taking advantage of the offshore winds. After a brief tour of Tofino, we make our way back to Kennedy Hill, where the road is scheduled to open after 3 p.m.
You see what happens when you try to jump to the front of the queue? Look at this. Is that because he tried to jump to the front of the queue over there?
Yes, I'm here for you. I'm going to do it too, aren't you?
Come and get me and take us across.
I think I should, no problem. By the time it's 1200,
I think it could. Yeah.
While the road does open at 3, we have to wait an additional 45 minutes before eastbound traffic is allowed through. After dining at Alden's home, we check in at the Starlight Motel early in the evening. It's an early 5:30 morning start as we arrive at Alden's home for our third and final day. After rendezvousing with Alden, we travel to the Mill Bay Ferry for a short crossing to Brentwood Bay. We're scheduled to meet up with the BC Beamers in Brentwood Bay at 8:30. Our wait is short-lived as some 20 club riders streak by waving us on to join them at the back of the pack. Traveling past Souk, we came across another construction delay along Highway 14. Thankfully, the wait was short-lived. Highway 14 is technically challenged not just because of the sharp corners, but because of the broken pavement created by many logging trucks that use this route routinely. This proved to be too challenging for one of the riders as he swerved off the road and landed in the adjacent ditch. Shaken, but not stirred, he rejoined the group to arrive in Port Renfrew for lunch. After lunch, we headed towards Duncan and then turned left towards Chemainus. Parking the bikes, many of us made our way to savor some parlor ice cream at Scoops by the Sea. After a sugar fix, we headed straight towards Schwartz Bay by way of Millstream Lake Road, the most challenging of all roads that we experienced during a 3-day visit. The road is only 1 lane wide but services 2 lanes of traffic, and it is not for the faint of heart. We arrive at Schwartz Bay early enough to catch the 7 o'clock sailing, and after 1 hour and 35-minute crossing, finally arrive home, and the journey ends shortly after 9 p.m.